Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold stream. On today's stream, as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be discussing the decks that have the most annoying players. So players who play these decks, and they are like the main deck that they choose to play, and how annoying they are to interact with, whether that is online or at locals or what have you. So I have all of the decks here, except for a few, most notably the ones released more recently, so like the latter half of 2022, as well as into 2023. So I also have this one. We're going to start with this one, and then we're going to go to the other one and do that one, because I think this one will be more meta-relevant, and then we can go on to the rest. But we're going to make the tiers real quick here. Starting off here with Kaiba levels of annoying. I don't know if you've ever watched the anime, but dear Lanta, if you ever played against Kaiba, he was a pain. So we have Kaiba, we have annoying, we have tolerable, we have fine, and then we have homie. Yep, there you go. Menace to society? Drytron? No. Players. Not the decks. The players. You gotta think about it like that. I forgot to open up my phone. Pegasus should be the top. I feel like Kaiba's worse, but yeah, Pegasus is also up there. A lot of the anime characters. I mean, you could say like Yami Yugi is up there. You could say basically anyone is up there from the anime. That just shows Kaiba. Alright. Starting off... Let's start off with Virtual World. I think Virtual World players, in particular, I think they're a little bit annoying. I think when it comes to their deck, if you play it, there are a lot of lines where they're like, oh, you could have done this, you could have done this, you could have done this. But that's just kind of the nature of the deck. But more importantly, I think that they are, they're very like, yeah, this deck's really cool, and then it just like Shen passes, and you're like, great, well, if I beat Shen, I'm, you know, better than you, and if not, you know, they're always coping on stuff. They're a little annoying, but they're not like, they're probably at like the bottom of annoying. They're like a little bit intolerable if you talk to them too much about Virtual World, and they're just kind of pilled on Virtual World. That's kind of it. Moving on, Tri-Brigade. I don't know. This one's me. I want to put it in annoying because I find myself annoying, but I don't know because I've never met another Tri-Brigade player. No! That's the biggest problem. No, I have. Most of them I think are honestly, I'd probably put it in like tolerable. Tolerable? Tolerable. Alright. VW's cool now without VFD. Proceeds to Scythe and hand loop for 2. True! Tri-players are okay. I've only met 3 and they're all good. It's fine. We'll put it at tolerable. I think this one varies depending on the meta that they're in. Because, like, I think pre-barrier statue, they were definitely more annoying. But, because they're like, oh no, this deck's, like, really cool. Trust me, Tri-Brigade Lyralisk is fun. And then they just, like, lock you out of the game with barrier statue, and it's like, yeah, great time. But then they lost it, and now it's like, no, this deck's like fine. I think a lot of people are like sleeping on it, but like I think it's also very interesting, and there's a lot of like counterplay. I think it's rogue. They're not like terrible, but they are kind of they're like fine people, just a little annoying with the deck. Me. Or just trying to mix try into everything. True, that as well. I think, like, overall, you meet them at a tournament and they're fine. They're normal people. But, like, they are just doing some funky stuff. Infinite Negates with Mist Valley, though? That's not really Tri-Brigade. That's more, I don't know, other stuff. I guess you could technically say that that's Tri-Brigade, but I wouldn't really consider that, like, Tri-Brigade players. But don't think so much about the decks. Think about the players. How are the players? How do they interact with you? Whether online or in person. And I think like most of the Tri-Brigade players I've had, I'd honestly put them in fine. but we'll put them intolerable because this is me. So, what's up, Andy? Union Carriers banned? Oh, true. Branded. They do be talking about that lore. They do be talking about how cool their lore is. Dude, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that Albaz and Albion fused. I don't care. That's not the right characters. Still don't care. Stop talking to me about it. Let's move along. Alright. Cool deck. Most players are annoying, though. Yeah, definitely. Dark World players. They're going at the top. They think that their deck is super based, super cool, and they think that they're awesome. And then it's just like, alright, dude, you're just preventing me from playing the game and taking like 40 minutes to play out your one turn. I'm not gonna lie, it's not interesting. And they're like, no, it's super cool. It's super interesting. I love it. It's so fun. It's so unique. And it's like, and then you're just like, dude, shut. Stop. No. Wrong. Incorrect. They just keep going on about how cool their deck is. And you're like, nah, I'm sorry. It's just not. Runic players are interesting. I want to put them in fine. But the deck is not fine. But I think most of the players, like I'm even tempted to put them in homie. Most of the players realize what they're doing. And they're like, I better be on my best behavior. Because I know people fucking hate my deck. So they're just like, alright, I'm just not gonna like do anything. I'm just not gonna be mean. I'm just gonna, like, you may hate my deck, but pure Runic players are toxic. I have never seen that. I don't know. The mixes are based? That's true. I've always seen them as like, I'm just not gonna like, because they know that their deck is not fun. And so they're just like, I'm just gonna be like on my best behavior. That's what I've seen. So, I'm gonna put them in fine. Dino Morbin. They do be Dino Morbin on you. This is similar to Dark World, except less annoying of a deck, but they're still like red pilled on. But in Master Duel in particular, they're like, dude, like I spent so much money, like I have to play it. Runic people are fine. The deck is ass. Yeah, there you go. We're basing this on people, not the deck. Where'd you put Dark Magician and Blue Eyes? Oh, we'll get to those. Yeah, Dino Morbin definitely be annoying. This is like Pendulum, but it's like regular Pendulum. Draco Slayer Pendulum. I'm gonna put them intolerable. They can be a little annoying, but not much. They're not like complaining for Electromite nearly as much. They do that, but not as much, because they actually have a playable deck with Draco Slayer, so that's fine. We'll move it along. Dragon Link is... honestly, most of the Dragon Link players have been homies. Most of them are cool people. You can say what you want about the deck, but like... I'm not gonna lie, I think most Dragon Link players are homies. They're just like, I just want to have a good time. Let's just have fun. Let's just have fun. And you're like, okay, yeah. Let's just have fun. Yeah, let's go. Drytron. Interesting. I haven't actually come up across many of the Drytron players. I'm gonna put up a new tier. Because I so rarely hear anyone talk about Drytron, nor play Drytron. Arrow below. Blue. Don't. No. Okay. I just don't know. Drytron is the worst created deck in the game. Drytron sucks. I'm glad that you think that. This is not about the deck. This is about the players. I've never played against one. I wish I could tell you. Never heard anyone talk about it. Never played against one. Anyway. Exosister. Exosister is not a cool, based, or interesting deck. How dare you think that? But, alas, they will continue to tell you how cute their waifus are. We get it. Lesbian Exosisters, yada yada. They're cool. They're nuns. No one cares. Moving along. Flunder! Also, yeah, these players are also kind of annoying. Not as annoying. They just kind of want cool birds, but they're also really obnoxious with with that. They're like, but cool birds! And it's cheap! And you're just like, alright, cool. Like, let's move along. No one cares. We'll talk about heroes later. Kashtira. Ooh. I'm gonna put them in tolerable. I think that they, yeah, don't really... The problem is that there are so many of them right now that it's really hard to say whether they are good, bad, yada yada. But so far, it's kind of been like, yeah, I'm just playing like the best deck, right? There are a lot of people who are just like, yeah, I'm just here playing the best deck, playing what I believe to be the best deck, just trying to win, kind of thing. And it's like, alright, I understand that. They're not overly annoying. They're not like actively fun or like good to be around. They're just kind of there. They're just existing. They take a minute to summon Robina. That's Kaiba tier. Zonlocks is auto annoying. That's the deck, not the player. Labyrinth players. They're just trying to win. It is what it is, yeah. Labyrinth players are interesting. Because you have some that are really obnoxious because they're like, I'm playing the waifu deck. I'm cool. And then you have some that are just like, I'm just trying to win, dude. Like, I just want to win. And I like playing the trap cards. Like, okay. I'm put it in tolerable. Yeah. Some that are waifu lovers. Some that are just like, I'm just trying to win. It's cool. It's fine. Lab players is annoying. Mommy spam in chat. True. That is true. You're right. But most of the ones that like you actually meet in person and are actually like trying to win are pretty tolerable. And in fact, most of them are fine. They won't admit that the deck sucks. If we're talking TCG, the deck doesn't suck. The deck is actually pretty good. Libromancers are annoying. We get it. It's a JoJo reference. We get it. You're, I don't know, bi or homo. I don't care. I don't care about what the Yu-Gi-Oh cards story is. I just care about what their effects are. Stop trying to pill me on this JoJo reference. I don't care. They're just branded players 2.0. Cool, great. Except Rogue, so it's even worse. Alright, dude. Chill. MathMech! Holy crap, stop talking about MathMech. Yeah, cool, yeah. You get to rip a card out of my hand. It's dope, dude. Super factorials, super base. Yeah, dude, yeah, third best deck, I'm sure. Of course. Yeah, no one cares. Shut up. Naturia players. Naturia. I find the deck to be very annoying, so it's hard to, like, separate the players. Honestly, it's hard to say. I'd want to say I'd put them in fine. I think most of them are fine. Again, just trying to win. Trying to do it in a little bit more of an interesting way. They have more of, like, an understanding of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're willing to talk and just, like, play the game, kind of. Just enjoy it. But, I don't know. Plunder players are homies. They're just pirates. They just want to have fun. They're just like, yar matey, let's go. Plunder players are plunder players. Do I need to say anything? Punk players are... This one's hard to say. I'm going to also put them in fine. I think that they're fine, yeah. I don't think they're really doing much that's, like, annoying. They're just normal people. Salamangreat players. We'll put them in tolerable. Now that they have like most of their pieces back, I don't think they're really complaining anymore. So they've really lost a lot of their annoying aspects of just being like, just give me back Gazelle. And then you're just like, all right, cool. But yeah, now they're just like regular players. They're like, yeah, I just like salad. You're like, great. Scareclaw. Stop asking me about this deck, dear Lanta. No one cares about your Tri-Brigade Scareclaw. Just leave me alone, you stupid piece of shit. Sky Striker. Holy crap. Please, again, I don't care that this... Your deck archetype is not interesting. It's not cool. It doesn't do anything unique or fun. The concept of a girl piloting a mech suit, basically, or getting battle armor is not cool. I'm sorry. It just isn't. I know you think it is. It's not. It's not cool. It's an overplayed archetype and overplayed story, and no one cares. It's something that I've seen a million times, and I don't need to see more of. Stop asking me about it. Leave me alone. And also, your waifu is underage. Stop. Splight players are homies. I have never seen a Splight player that isn't a homie. Like, an actual Splight player. Like, right now in the TCG playing Splight. They may be coping on some shit, but they just homies in real life. Now, granted, in Master Duel, not so much. But that doesn't really count because everyone is playing Splight because it's, like, the best one. Actually, he's 15. Alright, Grave. But, yeah, most Splight players, they're homies. When they actually want to play Splight and not just playing it because it's meta, they're homies. Plant! I'm gonna put him right there. Look, Plant's cool. Yes, your archetype is difficult to play. That doesn't mean you should play it. Okay? You are not good. YCS topping players, as well as YCS champions, can play it, and they are good. You, not so much. So why are you playing it? And why are you telling me that you're so good because you were playing a difficult deck and then misplaying? Stop. Get some help. Gosh, you're so annoying. I'm gonna move them up. More than I said that. Ah! I'm gonna say... I want to put them in... I'm gonna put them in fine. I think some Sword Soul players can be like a little annoying, but most of them are homies. I think some of them are definitely like, I play Worms and I'm cool, and you're just like, all right, dude, like, we get it, cool. But most of them are just like, I don't know, like, Chixiao's a cool card. Have you seen Long Wan? It's like a Burners for 12. It's funny, right? Most of them just like the deck, which is fine. But some of them are definitely annoying. Tier. I want to put him in tolerable, but it's hard to say. I think at this point, because of how, like, neutered they've been, I think I'm going to put him in annoying. Because at this point, players are, like, coping on some real shit to try and make tier playable. And they're like, no, tier's good, I promise, it's really good, it's super cool, like, look at this end board that I can still end on, like, I get to play, like, all of these cool cards. You're like, yeah, dude, like, just move along, it's fine, you had your day in the spotlight, it's fine, we can move past it, together. And they're like, no, I got it, it's fine. Anyway. Sword Soul is a lore deck without annoying lore fans. True, that's because all of the lore fans are playing Branded instead. Okay, we'll talk about heroes later. Let's move on to this. To be honest, everyone that played the tier, just because it was the best deck, I don't think so as much. Now you have the hardcore fans, they're annoying, yeah. I don't think everyone was playing it because it was the best deck, but yeah, most of them. Kaiba. Annoying. Tolerable. We'll just do good here instead of fine. Good, homie, and don't know. We'll delete this one. Oh dear God, that's a lot. What's up, Ascended? How you doing? Okay. ABC. ABC players are homies. They're just like, I don't know. I like Big Machine. I like Dragon. Cool. Most of them are pretty fine. They're like one of the rogue decks that's got some nice fans, right? People actually enjoy the deck because it's interesting and fun, and not like because it's rogue. Abyss Actors. This one's hard to say. I wouldn't really know too much. Oh, these are the theater kids. Never mind. They're theater kid pendulum players. No, you're right. No, I'm right. Yeah, they're theater kids, and they're also pendulum players. That's two crimes. They're criminal. They're crying a little about the Union Carrier ban sometimes. Sometimes, but most of the time they're just homies. Adamantipator players. Yeah, they're annoying. They're like give back Block Dragon. Adamantipator's fine. It's a glass cannon. Yada yada yada. He's like, cool dude. Yeah, rocks. Oh, you missed? Alright, cool. I play pendulums that don't make negate boards. I'm cool. Yep, basically. Adventure is not really an archetype. I'm just gonna say don't know. Agent players. I'm gonna put them in annoying. They'll do like Christia lock stuff and then be like, my deck is cool and interesting. And you're like, no, it's not. You just Christia locked me. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, I don't know. They're also like Shrine Ball. Praise be to the Shrine Ball. It's like, all right, dude, that's not very funny. We're gonna put this up here. Aliens. All right, you know if they're actually playing aliens, that they are a homie. They're just there to have fun, and that's it. Yeah, they a homie. Wait, that's not aliens. Wait, which one is this? Wait, aren't these both aliens? What is this? Is this not aliens? Agents aliens? No, that's definitely an alien. No one plays this deck. That's a lie. Huh? I don't know what this is then. We'll use that one as aliens. These... Altergeist players. They're both aliens. Okay, yeah. I was right. Okay. Anyway. Altergeist players are fine. You know what? They're a little bit annoying. Let's be honest. Your deck is annoying to play against. Let's be honest with ourselves. It is annoying. We don't like it. So stop acting like we like it. Stop acting like it's cool. Even if it's rogue, even if it's not top tier, it's still annoying. That's all. Other than that, they're fine. That's not a deck that people play. I get it. Amazonas isn't good. Stop asking for support. I get it. It's a waifu deck. Stop asking for support. There are like a million other archetypes that are much more interesting that you could play. You choose not to, okay? You chose that deck to play. You don't have to play it. And I get that you like the big waifus. Yeah, cool, great. I don't care. Stop talking about it. Leave me alone. I have no idea what this deck is. Ancient Gear players are fine. They're good. Amazonas is getting support, isn't it? Probably. Ancient Warrior players, similar to basically everything else that has been in the annoying or Kaiba tier, they think that their deck is cool because it is rogue and not a good deck, but it is so incredibly annoying to play against. Amorphage. Never met one. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Ancient Warriors, absolutely most annoying. Okay, not most annoying, but Dear Lanta, they are annoying. We're just gonna move along. Appliancers! They the homies. They're the homies. Don't even need to say anything there. This is not a deck that people play. I'm gonna say they're good, but Dear Lanta, do not let them pull off the world combo, because they will be a pain for the next, like, 20 minutes. If it happens once with Arcana, where they pull off the combo, you're just You're gonna lose your mind. Not a deck that people play. Also not a deck that people play. Yeah, Arrow Mages is annoying. Arrow Mages is, again, a rogue deck that people think is very cool and interactive and fun. And in reality, it's not. It's just another plant deck, and it's boring, and it's annoying. You set your traps, and just sit there and gain, and lose, and gain, and lose life points over and over, and your chain links are too long. Leave me alone. I want to play the game. There aren't really artifact players, but there are, like, Scythelock players. And I feel like, for the most part, they're annoying. Because when you Scythelock, they always go, like, yeah, I do, like, this really cool combo. And then they just, like, Scythelock you, and you're like, it's great. This isn't pure artifacts. I'm more thinking, like, Scythelock stuff. Because there's a bunch of, like, Scythelock stuff that runs around in, like, every meta. And they're like, yeah, like, I have this really cool, like, Lunalight deck. And then just, like, Scythelocks you, and you're like, alright. Yeah, that was really cool, dude. That was great. Battery men are homies. The Battle Wasps? Yeah, they're fine. Battling Boxer players. Honestly, I've never met one. Can't really say. Can't wait for Blue Eyes. Yes. Beach Troopers. Honestly, they're fine. They used to be really intolerable prior to them even coming to Master Duel because people were like, oh my gosh, they're going to be insane. So you can search Maxi. And then they were terrible. And everyone went, all right, they're fine. But they also are a little bit annoying because people will say like, oh my gosh, I end on like 14 interactions. And it's like a counter trap. Like, all right. Yeah, that's certainly 14 interactions. BLS is not a deck that people play. I'm sorry, I have never seen anyone actually play a BLS deck. I wish. It would be cool. But they don't. I don't know what this is. Blackwings! Blackwings are fine. They're not, like, people you consistently want to hang out with, but they're also fine. This one kind of depends on whether they're playing rank 4 or they're playing the actual Synchro version. Because those are kind of two different players. So, if they're playing, like, the rank 4, they're annoying. If they're playing the Synchro, they're good. So, we'll put them intolerable. Blue Eyes. I mean, there's a reason I named it the Kaiba tier. Yeah, Blue Eyes players are really annoying. However, new players don't count. Almost every new player picks up Blue Eyes. That is just, like, their go-to deck. I get it. That's fine. I'm not talking about these people. Literally not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about are the players who actively choose, after years of playing the game, to continually play Blue Eyes and then talk about how bad it is and how annoying it is that the meta deck does this, that, or the other thing, and you're just like, dude, play something else. Maybe you'll have more enjoyment. Stop talking about it. No one cares. Really annoying players. Bujin. I've never met a single Bujin player. I'm sorry, I didn't play during that time. Burning Abyss players are, honestly, mostly homies. It's hard to say. Like, I've heard of any Burning Abyss player that's been annoying. Phantom Knights, on the other hand, not so much. But, Burning Abyss, yeah, most of them are like, I don't know, I like Dante. He's cool. Mill 3. Dante pass. Like, let's go. And you're just like, alright, yeah, cool. Like, I play it for the artwork. Or what have you, right? Just a cool, fun time. Normally have great conversations. Also probably high sometimes. Most of the time. But yeah. There you go. That's not a deck. Charmer players. Charmer players are annoying. Stop asking for support, okay? We get it. I'm so sick and tired of people asking for support for archetypes that are crap. It's like, dude, just deal with it. It's like, your deck is crap. That's fine. Do I consistently ask for Dark Lord support? No. Is it crap deck? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. Do I live with that? Yes. Move along. Anyway. Did we do pendulums yet? Not yet. I mean, technically we did. Kind of. Kim... Alright. You know if they're playing Chem Critter, they're pretty good. Chainlink 1, Seer, target Dante. Chainlink 2, Dante, target Seer. Chainlink 3, Troll Despair. I'm just gonna say this right now. Yes, Chem Critter players do not exist, but if they did, they're homies. Chronomaly players are... I mean... If they're actually playing Chronomaly, they're a bit annoying. They're an anime enjoyer. They watch the worst anime. They're like, yeah, Chronomaly is cool. And then that's where your conversation ends. You're like, alright, cool, whatever, bye. Why heroes to last? Shh, it's fine. I'm a proud Battling Boxer user. I have my Battling Boxer deck, so you have a fair learning curve against me. Did I... Oh. I just don't know how to... I've never played against one. Cloudian players are clinically insane. But in, like, a funny way. I'm gonna put them intolerable. Because they could be very annoying. Or just the chillest people. And I don't know how to really determine that. They're Cloudian players. You see a Cloudian drop on your field and you go, what the fuck? I don't know what to say. What about Buster Blader? We'll get there. Code Talker players are annoying. Dear Atlanta, of all of the Link decks, they just want to Link spam and then make access code. And they think it's super cool. And it's not. It's just access code. Awesome. And they also think that, like, they just have, like, the worst takes in Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe not the worst, but some of the worst. And also Distant Coder. No, I'm just kidding. Distant Coder's fine, but Constellar players don't exist. Crusadia players do exist, and they are also rather annoying. Put them up above Code Talker. Your OTK isn't cool. Equimax is not cool. Your archetype is not cool. The entire playstyle is not unique nor interesting. It's just a thing. Cool, moving on. Crystal Beast players. I'm going to put them intolerable. Most of the time, they're like actually chill people in real life. But when they talk about the game, they're a little annoying. Because they're always talking about the most broken cards. And they always bring up a Crystal Beast card. And you're like, yeah, this card's like absolutely insane. You're like, I guess. But it's also in the Crystal Beast archetype, so no one cares. And they're just like, oh, but this like also does like absolutely everything for the deck. And you're like, great. Again, I don't care. Cristrons. Crystron players are annoying. I know this from Duel Links. Crystron players think that their deck does so much more than it does. And they think, especially Duel Links Crystron players, they think that that deck is super interesting and interactive and fun and was like the greatest meta ever, when in reality it sucked and was super boring and you couldn't interact because of how Duel Links worked, and it was just not fun. I cannot stand these players. Stop asking me. No, I don't like Cristrons. Stop playing it. I don't want to see another Grand Finals where it's 2 Cristrons. Stop! Anyway. At least Pleiades has an animation. That's Teller Knights, not Constellar. Wait. Is it Constellar? I don't know. Anyway. Still haven't played against any of these people. Okay, we have a new top of annoying. Cubics! Cubics were funny. Pleiades is Constellar. Okay. Good to know. Thoughts on hero players? We'll get there. Cubic players. It was funny the first time. It's no longer funny. Stop playing the deck. Just move along. Stop complaining about how inconsistent it is. Yes, you have some cool cards. Your game plan is annoying, and I don't think you realize that. Stop. It's not funny. It was funny the first time. It's no longer. Sidra players are fine. They just want to OTK. They just like playing anime decks. They're fine. That's basically all that I have to say. Moving along. The upcoming support is both, actually. Cyberdark is basically right there as well. They just want to play their anime deck. They don't care if it's good or not. That's not an archetype. This is literally the same thing. Galaxy Eyes players, on the other hand. Oh dear, they are annoying. Yes, your deck is bad. That's fine, okay? Your deck is allowed to be bad. Just move along, okay? You don't need infinite support. And also, no, your OTK with 1,000,000 attack is not fun. It's not cool. It's not interesting. No one likes it, okay? Cool, great, let's move along. Dangers. Alright, danger players, they're fine. They're good. I like them. Do Appliancer players actually exist? Yes, and they are all homies. There's like 4 of them. All of them are chill. They're just dope. Danger players are cool. They're not quite homie tier, because some of them can be a little annoying. Like, you don't want to spend like all day with them. But most of them are like, they're like, especially if they're playing pure danger stuff, they're like, I don't know, I'm a gamble. Tsuchinoko? And you're like, alright, that one. And you're like, you got it. And it's like, alright, activate Tsuchinoko. And they're like, alright. But they do that like over and over and like, you got it. They're just homies to play with. But they can be a little annoying after that. You are not allowed to play Dark Magician unless you play it the exact way that every single Dark Magician player wants you to play it. And each one of them has a different opinion on how you're supposed to play it. And each one of them thinks that their opinion is the correct opinion. And each one of them thinks that... I think you get the point, right? Obnoxious, annoying, stop. Not a deck. Dark World, we've already talked about. Who's over here? Dark Lord players. Oh, I have particular information in this regard. Dark Lord players are annoying. They are. They really are. Most of the time. Including myself. I will include myself. When I play Dark Lords, I was annoying. It's just how it is. Okay? It's just how it is. The reason that they are annoying is because they think that, like, their deck is a lot better than it is. And they're, like, waifu deck. And they're like, give us new support. It's really cool. Like, they're all making custom cards, including myself again, to make the deck better. And yada, 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 yada. And they always, in particular for me, they're always like, hey, you should play this deck again. Hey, play this deck. Hey, you should play this deck. Hey, this deck is really cool. You should play it again. It's like, all right, cool. Like, stop. Moving on. Put them here. A lot of Blue Eyes players and Dark Magician players are the closest Yugi boomers that just hate any deck that came out after GX. True. DDD players used to be right about something. That their deck was difficult. And then they got this fucking card. Gilgamesh made their deck incredibly simple. And now, they still think that their deck is cool. And that their deck takes skill. And it's like, no, you just made Gilgamesh and got free scales and then penned summon like 4. Shut up. These players are pendulum players. They are combo players. They are stun players. And they are also rogue. It's just like the worst combination of cards. You're like, stop. I don't care. Your deck isn't cool. It puts up annoying interactions. No, you are not cool, based, or interesting for playing this bullshit deck. Stop asking. Not a deck. I don't think people play that. Deskbot players, they're fine. A little silly, but they're fine for the most part. Did I say something bad? Yes. Branded players, we already talked about. You're annoying then? Alright, goodbye, dude. Oh, cool! Another anime deck. These people are worse than Dark Magician players somehow. I don't know how. They just are. Again, sitting under a skill drain is so cool. It's also Baguska. Woo! Yay! Your combo is inconsistent for a reason. Because, dear Lanta, if that was actually a good deck, everyone would lose their minds and jump off of bridges. I don't care about your lore. The Whelp is annoying. All of them. Every single one of them is not cool. Buster Blader isn't even a cool card. I'm sorry. What do you mean? It's not a cool card. Digital Bug? These players don't exist. I'm sorry. They don't. Dino Mist. They're fine. They're Pendulum players. They want Electromite back. No. But other than that, they're fine. What's worse than an anime deck? An anime deck built around stun. True! OG anime deck players are annoying AF. Yep. And Crusadia and annoying. Bros man, he left a monster in attack. Ascended, you are proving my point. You are literally proving my point. Bro mad, he left a monster in attack. Yeah! I shouldn't die because I left a monster in attack position. What the hell? Shut up. Ah. Dino Morbin. Yeah, they're annoying. Talked about them already. Dino Wrestlers? They're not Dino players. I'll give them that. Crusadia players don't want to play the game, but think they're too cool for Numeron. True. What do Dino Wrestlers even do? Yes, it's Pank control. That's what they do. I don't know. I'm guessing there's going to be Utopia somewhere. So we'll do that one with Utopia, maybe? Is there a Utopia? There's Numeron. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Remember when Zexal, Utopic Zexal wasn't banned? Where's Utopic? I'm not seeing Utopic. I'm not seeing Utopic. Where is it? Am I blind? Huh. Is this Utopic? No, because that's Volcanic. Virtual World. Tindangle. Where's Arctic? Okay, Utopic's not here. Never mind. Alright, we'll do this one as Utopic. Utopic players are... They're not that annoying. They are a little annoying. Put them, like, here. Sorry, let's move this one up. Yeah. Again, they're just kind of like OTK people who think that OTK is cool. OTK isn't cool. It's not really that fun. Too bad the stun pipeline is real. True! That's so annoying. Hey, this cool, unique part of your archetype. Yeah, this new card makes it so that you don't have to go through that. Yep. Yep. Literally, yep. This is why I don't want new support for Dark Lords, because it's just going to be like, hey, we're going to give you a continuous trap that just, as long as you have a Dark Lord on the field, it's skill drain. It's like, oh, well, cool. Dogmatica. Dogmatica players. I think for the most part they're fine. Most of them are just like, they're either like, yeah, I like the artwork, or they're like, yeah, I like the playstyle, but most of them aren't annoying outside of the game, and even in the game they're fine. I wouldn't really say that they're like bad in any way. Did they really use this fern for the picture of Krishron? Yes. Isn't that funny? Draco Slayer. This one's interesting, because if we count this as just penned players are really annoying. But if we count this as actually Draco Slayer, most Draco Slayer players, they're pretty cool. They're fine, for the most part, right? They're like, yeah, I play Pendulum, but I also, like, am a real human being who doesn't just care about Electromite and actually plays the game. You're like, dope, fantastic. So there you go. Dragon Maid players. Let's be honest with ourselves, somehow they're worse than Dark Lord players. I don't know how, but I guess when they all are weebs, it's actually not that hard to understand, because, let's be honest, weebs are awful. I was a weeb once. I understand. I was awful. Not cool. Dragoonity players are homies. I hate that deck. Every single one of the players, just 10 out of 10 people. Just great people. Dreamir players are... yeah, they're fine. They're cool. They're fine. They just want good cards. And they can't even have that. It's just sad. Bad waifu Dragon Link? True. Dogma invoked annoying. Dogma ritual tolerable. Nah, even the Dogma invoked players, they're fine. Dogmatica players will not shut up about the lore in my experience. Really? Interesting. Because I've never had them talk about the lore. I've just heard them talk about, like, the artwork. They're like, yeah, I really like Dogmatica Ecclesia. She looks cool. I'm like, dope. Let's move it along. Maybe I'm just bad at conversation. Drytron! We've talked about Drytron players. They're, yeah, I actually don't know. Feet! Don't exist. Dust On. Okay, Dust On players are clinically insane, similar to Cloudians. If they drop a Dust On on the field, you're just like, dude, what is happening? And then you cannot get a read on them at all. I'm going to put them intolerable because they range from Kaiba to Homie. You do not know what is going to happen. Crazy people. To this day, I have no idea what Dream Eaters do. Ah, me neither. Yeah, that's not an archetype that people play. Eldritch players, let's be honest, they are annoying. Like, yeah, they are. Because most of them are like, no, floodgates are fine. You're like, like, I specifically remember one time at Locals, I played against an Eldritch player who played Mystic Mine. They went first, one game one. I sided in some, like, side deck cards, like Twin Twisters and the like. Drew a million cards in the second game because they set up a Mystic Mine. Go for the Cosmic Cyclone, or the Twin Twister, and just, like, OTK my opponent randomly, even though he had, like, a million set cards. And I was like, okay, cool. So I won game 2, and then game 3, he just, like, Mystic Mines me again, and I was like, great, that was fantastic, I loved it. And then he goes and talks to another player, and he's like, so what are your thoughts on Mystic Mine? And you could tell this guy was fishing for, like, Mystic Mine is fine, fair, and balanced. And he got that, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And he just looked so proud of himself, and I was like, I hope you jump off of a cliff. It was great. Yeah, Eldritch players, for the most part, are annoying. Now, granted, that was Mystic Mine, but still, Eldritch players kind of fall in that category. Really annoying. Moving on. They're the type of person to say skill drain is fine because it affects both players. Skill drain is fine, but not because it affects both players, but because you can play around it in meaningful ways. To be fair, I think skill drain isn't the problem with that, but it's more of like a lot of the other floodgates that prevent you from actually summoning cards. These players don't exist. Why am I trying to act like they do? Endymion players! Dear Lanta, these people are almost as bad as Ancient Warrior players. Look, I like spell counters just as much as the next guy, but like, I don't at all in any regard. Cool. Let's move it along. Like, stop talking about the spell counters. Stop talking about how you have to put additional dice onto your card. We get it. That was months ago, actually years ago when that happened. We get it. Let's move it along. Evil Eye. That's the name of this archetype. Evil Eye. Evil Eye players can be annoying. But for the most part, you know what? We'll put them at, like, the bottom of annoying. They're not bad, but they are a little annoying over time. They do wear you down. And you're like, all right, yeah, like I get it. Your Evil Eye is really cool. Yeah, you pay life one. Yeah, you're untargetable. Yeah, it's such a great combo. Yeah, or I could just like do Agonister stuff. Like, okay, cool. I've never met an Evil Swarm player. Duel Links players know all about Element Sabers. That's true, but also no one plays Element Sabers. They play like Invoked, which this is not. Hold on. Sorry. I don't know either of these. These players don't exist, let's be honest. Exosister players... They're not quite as bad as Dark Lord players, but they're close. Look, Exosisters are cool. They can do some interesting things. I don't care that they're nuns, that they're waifus, etc. We've literally already talked about them. But, yeah, stop talking about them. Moving on. Fabled! I want to say Fabled players don't exist, but they clearly do. The question is... I think for the most part they're fine. Put them here. The artwork of the Z monsters is super cool. For what? For Exosisters? Yeah, sure. Basically just a floodgate. Yep. Evil Swarm sure does do that. Oh, Evil Swarm. Yeah. No one actually plays this deck, let's be honest. FAs. Yeah, no one plays this deck. Fire Fists! Fire Fists are homies. They're also homies, let's be honest. Never met a Fire Fist player who wasn't just chill to the bone. I've seen a Fabled player after Synchro Era once. Interesting. Fire Kings. So I know them from Duel Links, which is very different. I play Fire Fist, and I lose a lot. Well, there you go. Happens. Fire King players are a little bit more annoying than Fire Fists, but for the most part, I think that they're fine. Sorry, let me redo this. Yeah, that works. Yeah, Fire King players, I think for the most part, they're pretty tolerable. Flamvel, those don't exist. That's also not an archetype that exists. Flunder players, we already talked about them. They're a little annoying. Not terribly annoying, though. What's the best deck besides Dragoonity? What do you mean? Like, who are the best players to, like, interact with? These guys. Up here. Over here. Our return. Flower Cardian players. This is hard to say, because I've never actually met one, and I don't think that they exist, but somehow Flower Cardian decks are played. I don't think that they're real. I think they're just, like, alien entities that show up, play Flower Cardians, and then disappear. Know the icon? Wait, what? What's the deck beside? Oh, it's Chem Critter. Sorry. Flower Cardian is Solitaire the deck. Rise of the Flu Monarch. Fluffle. I'm not gonna lie. Fluffle players are annoying. They are annoying. They're a combo deck, and a lot of combo deck players in particular think that their combo is like super interesting. And then it either ends on like an unbreakable board, but dies to like a single interaction. Or they do what Fluffle does, where it takes like 6 minutes to do like 2 steps of their combo. Right? So they end up taking, they always go into time, and they're just like insufferable the whole time. Not insufferable, but they're like annoying the whole time, because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna loop this, and you're like, okay. And then they end on like, I might be able to pop cards on your turn. You're like, okay, great. I remember when Fluffle had VFD. That was peak annoying. True. Fortune Lady players, I swear, they exist. The problem is that they know that their deck is terrible, and they're just like, I just play it for the mechanic guy. I wish it was better. And you're like, yeah, I get it. They can be a little annoying, but for the most part, they're fine. I've never met a single person who plays Fossil Warriors, or, Fossil. Frogs! Now that Toad's banned... No, Toad isn't banned in the TCG, but Toad is banned in Master Duel. Now that Toad's banned, I think that they are a little bit more annoying. Complaining about Toad. We get it. I get it. We all do. We understand. It's sad. Poor frogs. Fur hires. They're up there. They're certainly up there. Not more annoying than Eldritch, but definitely more annoying than Charmers. Fur hire players oftentimes are like, I'm not furry, I promise, I just like the way that this deck plays. And then they play it, and there's like 14 other decks that play the exact same. And they're like, dope. And also, they think that it's so cool that they specifically search cards for hire instead of like searching for a for hire card. And you're like, no, the text on your card is annoying as hell. Stop. It's not cool. Stop making me read your goddamn cards. Moving along. Gadget players are homies. More than battery men. Yes. Proto Tri-Brigade. Exactly. Oh, wait. What? There are Gaga-Gas. Gaga-Gaga-Gaga. We've already talked about Onomats, or Utopics, so we'll move on. Gaia players. These people exist somewhere. Do I know where? No. But I've heard them. I've heard their voices. I've seen what they have to say. And let me tell you, they're actually, for the most part, fine. Surprisingly. They're similar in nature to, like, the Sidras, where they're like, my deck is bad, but I like playing it. I like the for hire pun, to be fair, but the artwork, not the artwork, yeah. Players can blame Splight for the ban of Toad. Yeah. What kind of players would you say are the ones that are most likely to make you commit a crime? It's gotta be one of these two. Cloudian or Dust on players. They're gonna be like, yo, dude, you wanna go rob a bank? And you're like, what? And they're like, dude, I have this, like, brilliant idea. So there's this bank, and they will give you the whole game plan, and you're like, what the this might actually work. And then you actually think about it. I'm gonna go eat dinner later. Later, Andy. These people have insane ideas. I do not trust a Cloudian player. Do not trust a Duston player. If you see that card hit, if you see either of these cards hit the field, run. Run far, run fast. But also, they might not do anything. Maybe they just chill. I recently joined this and I saw a BA homie. I play BA. BAs are homies. We talked about this one. These people are annoying. Not more than Dark World. Geargia. Geargia players are fine. You know what? I'll even put them in good. I've never really had a bad experience with a Geargia player. They're like, yeah, Geargia cool. I like Z summoning. Geargia Dex is dope. Like, alright, moving on. Still don't know what the Dust on Deck is. Look it up. Look it up later. Gem Knights. Gem Knights are annoying. They think FTKs are cool. I'm like, yo, FTKs are cool. You're like, alright. Gene Raider players are also annoying. But because they think that generators utilizing a field spell to basically do everything is also cool. And that the new support like saves all their issues, and that they're never gonna brick, and that they have these really interesting plays, and you're like, dude, you just activate a field spell and then pass, and then you just gain like infinite advantage. Like, alright. Speaking of FTKs, best carding in turn 1 is the most drawn out FTK in existence. Yep. Does sometimes give your opponent a free link material. More or less. Gen X players don't exist. Ghost Trick players, they're fine. They're a little annoying, but for the most part, they're fine. Because they're like, yeah, actually, no, yeah. They're like, yeah, my deck doesn't really do anything, and I wish it did more, but, like, there you go. I don't really know what to say. Ghost Trick is really annoying. Huh? Anyway. Do gimmick puppet players exist? Ghost Trick players will make you flip. I don't know. I think they're fine. I think they're fine. I don't know what this is. The hell is this? If Dustin players are schizophrenic, then Arcana Force players are bipolar. What the hell? Gimmick player here. Dope. Anyway, most annoying generator card. Generator card is the one. Oh, you want to respond to my card? How about you draw a card instead? True. Glad Beast players? Yeah, they homies. They homies. Right next to Fire Fist. Yeah, they just play a bad deck because it's fun. Gorgonic players? I don't think that those players exist. Goki players. See, now these people are annoying. Look, we get it. You're a wrestler. No one cares. We get it. You want a U-Link. No one cares. We get it. You only want to talk about how cool your deck is and the warrior combos that you could potentially do. We get it. No one cares. Stop ripping cards out of my hand, you stupid Gumblarb motherfucker. Anyway. Are we complaining about flip effects in Link era? Apparently. Ghost Tricks aren't even flip effects. True. Whoa, what happened? What happened? I clicked a button. And the thing disappeared. Oh, there he is. Yeah, these players don't exist. Gravekeepers! Share if you play! Yo, I play Floodgates! And rip cards out of your hand. And if I'm lucky, I win. If I'm not, I lose. I'm incredibly inconsistent, but I think I'm based. I play BA. Flips are very annoying. Dude, you're ruining the BA perspective. Just be a chill dude. Relax. BA players are hype. Gradle players are also freaking annoying. Dude, I cannot stand them. They think that it's super cool when you run into a Gradle and then they steal it and you're like, dude, stop. I don't want my monster stolen. Stop taking my monsters. And they're like, ahaha, funny snake go burr. Great Kaiju. Gusto players are also really up there. Again, they think that because they utilize like battle phase effects and that their deck is really bad, that it's fun to play against and that they're cool and red-pilled, and in reality, they're just annoying. They're like, dude, I don't... Great, now I have to deal with all of this shenanigans. Like, just leave me alone. I don't want to play anymore. Harpy players... Look, they just like their booba. They talk about censorship a little bit too much, so they're a little annoying. But for the most part, they're just like, I like booba. It's like, alright, I get it. Let's move along. Hazy Flame. This one's hard to say. I think for the most part, they're fine. They're like similar to Fire King, where it's just like, yeah, they just kind of play their game. They know that their deck is bad, but they're okay with it. I guess similar to like Dreamir. They don't really do anything, but hey, if they make that one play, they might become insufferable. But for the most part, they're fine. Harpy's homie? No. What? Have you met Harpy players? Yeah, those players don't exist. Here! I'm gonna make a short about this. About the 5 worst, most annoying decks, players. And the reason I chose to make this, was because of heroes. So let's talk extensively for a second about heroes and hero players. Hero players are the favorite child. They are the firstborn of Konami, basically, at this point. Even though it's like Blue Eyes, technically. They have been giving everything and a handbasket. They have been given the world, and they still find everything to complain about. They find just the most obnoxious shit to talk about. And you're like, dude, no one cares. Okay? No one can relate. They have Plasma. They have DPE. They have Dark Law. They have Mask Change. They have everything any deck could want. They've been meta multiple times over. They've been rogue consistently for years. And they're still complaining. And on top of that, they play an anime deck. They love to talk about how cool their anime deck is. And how based they are. And they activate effects like, I activate the special ability. And you're like, dude, no one cares. Hero players are the epitome of the worst Yu-Gi-Oh players. Just all crammed into one. I've never met someone who talks about heroes and has said something good about them. They always talk bad about it. And it's like, dude, why do you play it? Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Ah! The hero child got 2 free cars after crashing 2 and still got a 3rd brand new car. Exactly. Like, dude, how? Hieratic players are chill. They're pretty cool. All right, we're gonna go a little bit faster. Ice barrier players are funny for the most part. I think that they're homies. Most of the time they're just like, yeah, dude, I play Ice Barriers because I like Trish, but also it's funny. And you're like, all right. Ice Jade players, I've honestly never played against an actual Ice Jade player. The true homies just played straight up at Jaden's deck from the first episode of the GX anime. Not good, just funny. No. Even then they're like, I activate the special ability, and you're like, dude, you're still intolerable. Ignite players are just FTK players, but they also just don't care because they're like, I'm a Pendulum player, and they're annoying. Attic players! Nah, for the most part, the Attic players are fine. I hate the deck, but for the most part, I think the players are fine. Ignite got shafted hard by Master Rule 4. True. True. Ice Shades are another one that just got given a floodgate. The more that you count, the more depressing it gets. These players don't exist. But if we're talking just ritual players, yeah, they're fine. Infernity players are a bit annoying. They complain a lot about the game and like the ban list in particular, because they're like, just give us back Launcher and Archfiend to 3, and it's like, no, that doesn't sound fun. And they're like, but I want to play the game. And it's like, well, we don't want you to. Infernoid players. See, now these people are the most obnoxious because they're a high roll strategy that if it works, you just don't get to play the game. You just don't get to play the game. It's great. But they also think that they're cool because they are playing a bad deck. Earth Machine players, for the most part, they're fine. Not quite homies, but they're fine. Invoked players, also fine. Not really bad, not really good. They're just invoked players. They like normal summoning Alistar, moving on with their day. Insector players, yeah, they're pretty nice. That is not an archetype that exists. Junk players. Similar to Galaxy Eyes. Not fun. Not fun people. Just incredibly obnoxious. Your Junk Speeder is not a cool card. We get it. You do a million things, and it's awesome that you Synchro Summon into Oblivion, but don't make me sit through that and think that it's cool. And also, stop singing the stupid theme song. Going fast makes me feel alive. We get it. I don't care. Stop. Stop! This is Kaiju. I think Kaiju players are actually homies. Kaiju players are really homies. They play an annoying deck, but they are homies. Karakuri players. They can be a little annoying, but for the most part, I think they're fine. Those players don't exist. Cosmo players. Now, Cosmo... Cosmo players are fine. Karakuri is based, I agree. But the players, they're fine. Crawlers. Look, your flip effects aren't cool. We get it, dude. Like, yeah. You certainly do flip. Yep, you certainly do flip. Karibo players. These are all war criminals. Let's be honest with ourselves. These people should not be let out. No, these people don't exist. I'm not going to lie. I am this person, and we don't exist. Lava players also don't exist. Libromancer. We've talked about these guys. Let's go there. Look, sometimes they get lucky, sometimes they don't. And when they get lucky, they think it's skill. When they don't get lucky, they think it's luck. And you're like, alright, cool. Lightsworn players, woo. Lunalight players. This is interesting. Again, I don't like the deck, but for the most part, Lunalight players are homies. Even more so than Outpliancer players. Lunalight players are homies. I don't know why. They just are. Lyralisk players. So we've already talked about Tri-Brigade. So let's actually talk about Lyralisk. Lyralisk players, they're not homies. They're not good. Put them in tolerable. Yeah, they're fine. More tolerable than Crystal Beast players. But for the most part, they're like, yeah, it's an anime deck, but like no one actually cares. Because it was part of like Zexal or something. So no one actually cares. I think it was Arc 5. Anyway. Machina. I've had some experience with Machina players. They're similar to Earth Machine. They're fine. I don't know. Personally, not a fan of them, but the Lyralisk players? Interesting. Madolche players. Madolche players are annoying. Let's be 100% real. Not more annoying than most of this stuff. They're probably at the bottom. They are annoying, but not by much. Similar to Harpies, in terms of, like, level of annoyance. But they're kind of like... Madolche are actually really good. And they say that every meta. So. Machina players are based. They play a cool deck, but they're not necessarily, like, the most entertaining people. Or the most, like, cool people. These players are on some shit. They really do be huffing that copium. And because of that, they think that they're really interesting. And they're just not. Magic Key players are fine for the most part. I don't think that they're bad. They're just fine. Karibo with Lava Golem stall deck? Yes. These players don't exist. Magispector. Magispector players can be a little annoying. Because what they do is they're like, I play this really cool and interesting deck that is protected from destruction and targeting. And then when you beat them, because you don't use destruction or targeting, they're like, this is bullshit. What the fuck? It's great. Taco Bell. Yo, I got Taco Bell. Malefic players. Malefic players are fine. They may talk about Paradox a little bit too much. But other than that, I think for the most part, they're okay. Like, they just play Malefics. They don't really talk about it. I don't know, they kind of do. But they're like, yeah, I kind of rely on my field spell, yada yada. They don't talk too much about the deck because they know that it's bad and they don't really want to talk about how bad their deck is. So they just kind of move on. Marin says, look, stick Waifu and Cybers together. It's not going to work. Okay? These players, they're so obnoxious with the way that they want the game to be. They're like, I should be able to sit on a towers and a Baguska and laugh at you and make you cry and then and then you shouldn't be able to play the game. And then you drop like a kaiju on them, and they scream and yell, and you're like, what the fuck? Mathmech! Mathmech is Marincess, but without the waifu part. So, still incredibly annoying. Mayakashi. Mayakashi players are fine. Above Chem Critter, yeah. Mecha Phantom Beast players, they're tolerable. They don't really do much. Megalith players. Megalith players. I'm gonna say it. I think that they're annoying. And it's mostly due to... they're not that annoying, but they are annoying. And it's mostly due to them thinking that, like, them playing Megalith, which basically plays on the opponent's turn to actually do stuff, or, like, you know, using full and stuff like that, and comboing using Block Dragon or without Block Dragon, is really cool, and it's difficult and stuff like that. In reality, it's fine. It's just another combo deck. It's not, like, any more difficult than the myriad of other combo decks that currently exist. It's just kind of knowing the lines, etc., etc. But they think that they're just a little bit better than everyone else because of that. Because they play rituals. But they're just kind of annoying. They're just a little bit like that. They're not quite fully there. They're just a little like that. Just a little. Mech Knight players, I think for the most part, this is weird, but I think for the most part, they're fine. I think they're pretty just standout people. Not really doing anything bad, not really doing anything good. Or like too good. Yeah. They're good. That's not... I think that's Mech Lords. Mech Lords are not played by people. Oh, except for that one Mech Lord dude. Hold on. There's a dude named Mech Lord. And because of him in particular, I feel like I need a new tier. Just for Mech Lord in particular. We're going to put him here, but know that... yeah, Mech Lord has... yeah, moving on. Melfi! They're fine. They can be a little annoying. But for the it's tolerable. Unlike a lot of the other things, they're just like, but it's cute! And you're like, no, you're not wrong. Mech Lord needs a tier. True. I've never actually seen a Melodious player. Never heard from them. Never thought about them. I don't think they exist, and we're going to move on. Mermail. Mermail players are homies. Atlantean Mermail players are homies. I don't like the deck, but that's a personal thing. The players, they're fine. They're A-okay. Yeah. Pendulum players, more specifically, anyone who defends Electromite and thinks that it should come back or remain in the game is incredibly obnoxious. Mermails are annoying. They think hand looping is cool. Nope. The players, they're actually okay. Exactly. Not the deck, but the players. Yeah. Electromite players, No. Electromite defenders, players who play Pendulum in particular, they're obnoxious. They just are. Electromite Astrograph is so much fun. Metaphys players, these people exist, and I hate this deck, but I've never actually heard anything from a single one of them. They don't speak. They exist. They're out there. Similar to Guardians, but I swear, they just exist to, like, play the game and then move on. They don't say anything. Where are these people? Who are you people? Same with Apex Avian. Monarchs. I think Monarch players, for the most part, are fine. Their deck is annoying, and I think they just don't really care. Like, yeah, every deck's annoying. You're like, well, you have a good point. But, like, I braked. You're like, alright. Let's go next. Morphtronic players don't exist. That's just a lie. And I'm not talking, like, Telephon FTK, because, like, that's a whole nother can of worms, but... There you go. Where's Endymion? Where did Endymion go? We're going to put those two right next to each other. Mutant players. I think... Yeah, mutant players are homies. I've never not met a mutant player that wasn't, like, based. Yeah. That's basically it. Naturia. I think the Naturia players are fine. They're not really bad. They're not really good. They're just kind of there. Like, I play Naturia. Moving on. Necros. It's hard to say. I think they can be a bit annoying. Not quite as annoying as, like, the Megalith, but similarly. Where there'll be, like... Oh, I miss Necros format. Remember when Necros was tier 0? That's kind of all that they do. Not really harmful, just kind of a you know, a little annoying. Like, alright, yeah, like, I get it. Cool. And they're like, well, now I play Drytrons. And like, this is the Nemesis deck. Nemesis Corridor and stuff. I don't think people actually play Nemesis decks. They play, like, Nemesis Corridor to bring out Thunder Dragon Colossus. And they'll play, like, other Nemesis cards sometimes, like Flag and such. But for the most part, I don't think anyone's actually played, like, a Nemesis deck. Same with the Big Chicken. Ninja players. I'm going to say ninja players are, for the most part, cool. They're just like, I just like playing ninjas. I like the archetype. I like the style. I like the idea. I like ninjas. And for the most part, that's fine. I wouldn't really say they're, like, good or bad. They're just kind of there. They're just kind of chilling. Ninja players exist. They do. Especially now with the new support. Noble Knight players, they're Giga Chads. I'm going to say it right now. Noble Knight players are straight up Giga Chads. But they're also just a little bit more annoying than, like, the homie tier. Right? But they're incredibly cool. They're cool people, but they're not homies. Nordic players are annoying. Less so than branded. Especially with the new support. The idea is, like, they're just there to summon out a big Odin or Thor or something like that, and then pass. And you're just like, great, like, cool. Anyway, immediately out your board, and they're like, alright, cool, next game. And they don't really care about much else. They're just kind of there to play Nordics, because they like Norse mythology. And that's it. Or they liked Loki from, like, Marvel. Just kind of... eh. Numeron players. Yeah, Numeron players are annoying. They just don't want to play the game. And then you're like, okay, so then why are you? Anyway. Ogdotics. Snake Rain is a cool card. Stop talking about it. Move on. Anyway. Ojama players. No, I don't like the artwork. No, it's not funny what you're doing. No, I don't like zone locking. No, it's not a cool, interesting rogue archetype. No, I would not like a rematch. Orcust. Orcust players are fine. They just like graveyard shenanigans. They like the artwork. They like the story or something like that. But for the most part, they're just like, I'm just here to play a deck that was good in 2019. Like, alright. I appreciate it. Paleozoic players. I think for the most part, they're fine. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about them. They're just, they exist. They're fine. Hey, pendulums. We've already talked about penguins. They may talk about penguins a little bit too much, but for the most part, they're fine. They're like, penguins are cute. That's the most annoying thing that they do. Trick Clown. I don't think that's really an archetype. Pacifist. Pacifist players are annoying, similar to generator archetype or generator players. The archetype centers around a field spell, but it's like significantly worse. So when they get a win, they're just insufferable. Phantom Knight. Phantom Knight players are also obnoxious. Because I swear, every time a new meta shows up, they're like, Phantom Knight's best deck, let's go. You're like, cool. And then it never is, and then they get sad and disappointed, and then they're like, Phantom Knight's best deck, and they do that for like 6 years. And they've been doing that. Blunder players, we've talked about them, they're homies. Prank Kid players are really annoying. Ooh. No, actually, sorry, no. Prank Kids are really annoying. Prank Kid players, sorry, hold on. Prank Kid players. This is interesting, because I remember playing specifically when Prank Kids were, like, the best deck, and everyone was like, Prank Kid is such a cool and interesting deck because it does, like, all of this stuff, and you're like, no, it's not cool and interesting. It Scythe locks me, and then I can't play the game. While also having, like, Raigeki and stuff. Or, like, you know, it's on DPE, Adventure, and Raigeki. It's like, yeah, that's super cool. But they're like, the lines are so interesting and unique, and it's like, no, it's not. But now, I think Prank Kid players are fine. I think they've cooled off a lot, but they're still not, like, good. They're just fine. They're just there. They're tolerable. Predaplant players, on the other hand, they really do overhype their deck. They think that it's super cool. They think that fusion summoning an absolute custom card is based. And they think that branded being able to be paired with it makes it even more interesting. And it's not. These players don't exist, I'm sorry. Punk players, yeah, they're fine. They don't really do anything. Cleafort players. I don't know. I really can't tell you. Honestly, one of the few, like, anime archetypes that is fine. They're pretty tolerable. They don't really do anything. They're just like, I just want to summon Slifer. And you're like, alright, fair enough. Raid Raptor players. Raid Raptors. I think for the most part, they're pretty good. I can't really think of, like, a bad interaction I've had with them. Not a fan of the deck, but the players are fine. Red Eyes players are actually just homies. I don't know why. They're legit, like, the only anime deck that are actually, all of their players are just, like, chill people. I think it's because of how bad the deck is. They're like, I really liked Joey. He was funny. Therefore, I'm going to play Red Eyes, and I'm going to commit to it, and it's going to be my gimmick. But also, I'm just a normal dude. And you're like, oh my gosh. They like the anime, but they're not clinically insane? Impossible. You found one maniac who's playing Wicked Eraser instead of Slifer? Oh, true. Yeah, that definitely... True. Reptile players. This is similar to Ogdoadic. I'm just gonna put it right there. That's slightly annoying, but not the end of the world. They're slightly more annoying. Res Loyus, here, hopium for good support one day. Yeah. But, like, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, most of them have just been homies. They're like, I want support, but they're not obnoxious about it, and they're actually just people. Resonators, they're all children. So, of course they're annoying. Like, I swear, every red Resonator player is just a child. They're a child in, like, a trench coat. They're two children stacked on top of each other in a trench coat going to a local. And you're just like, what? Who are you? Or they're actual children. They're like, what? And then they just end on the one guy, and you're like, alright, cool. Dope. Anyway. Rika. Where did I put Sun Avalon? Did I put Sun Avalon? I haven't put Sun Avalon yet. Yeah, these guys are annoying. We've kind of talked about them. Ritual Beast players. They're all homies. They're all homies. I've never really met a Ritual Beast player that wasn't, like, cool. They're just like, yeah, I like combos. I like loops. But also, let's talk about literally anything else, because I don't want to talk about my deck, because it's bad. These players don't exist. Dragon Link players, they're also all homies. These players don't exist. Not anymore. Those players don't exist. Salad players, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Scareclaw Claw players, we've already talked about. Leave me alone. No, that's about right. Fridge! Scrap players. I can't really say anything bad, nor good. They're just kind of there. Dragon Link players are home. I talked about them earlier. Yeah, they homies. Shadal players, also homies. I had a Shadal player. I was playing Shadals against this guy, and he was like, yo, dude, I also play Shadals. He was also playing Unchained. We'll get to that in a second. And he just, like, gifted me Shadal Schism from his collection for, like, no reason. I was like, yeah, dude, you the man. So now I have Schism. Didn't have it previously, and now I do. Sick. I don't know what that is. No one plays that. Shiranui players exist in Duel Links, and they're really annoying. So I'm going to put them up here. But other than that... Scrap is there. Yeah. That was Sharks. Kragan control is not cool. Stop trying to think that you're cool by, you know, going into Kragan. What? I feel like I don't need to explain myself with the 6 Samurai here, but yeah, 6 Samurai are just ancient warriors, but more obnoxious because they go first and set up a combo that takes literally 40 minutes to figure out, especially if it's in paper, and you're just like, hold on, how many counters does this thing have now? Okay, yeah, continue. Cool. Yeah, okay, how many counters does this have now? Okay, great. And then they end their combo and you go nib, and they go, fuck. And then they lose game 1, and then you don't even have time for game 2. You're just like, alright, cool. Let's just scoop it up, dude. Skull Servant players are... I want to say they're homies, but they're not quite. They're a little bit more annoying, but alright. A little bit more annoying. Sky Striker players. Whoo, baby! Sky Striker players! Oh, Sky Striker players! Whoo! I don't really know what to say about Sky Striker players. Other than, Dear Lanta, stop. I don't want to hear about your unfun archetype. In fact, I've already talked about them, so I'm not going to talk about them again. I don't care. King of the Skull Servant, best card, changed my mind. Literally like any other card. Skull Servant is right there. Sophocard players, they just want their waifus. I get it. Speedroid players. Look, I don't mind Speedroid as a deck, but their players can be a little obnoxious. They're just kind of like constantly talking about how cool their deck is and like the specifics of the Speedroid stuff. And you're like, dude, I don't care. I just want to talk a Tomborg. Like, I just want Terror Top Takatomborg. That's all I care about. I do not care about your entire rest of your archetype. Just leave me alone. Alright? Moving on. Vanilla Skull Servant, best card. True. Accurate. I swear, this deck is played a lot. I've never heard anything from a player. They are the Flower Cardian Metaphys players. They exist. The deck is played. Who is playing the deck? I don't know. They don't say anything. They just pop into existence and then pop out. They just play the deck and leave. Can you play Pure Prophecy, Snow? No. Spiral players. This is hard to say because there are so many Spiral players from so many different walks of life because of what Spiral, like, when Spiral was meta and how long it was meta for. This one's hard to say. I'm gonna say for the most part they're tolerable, but they can range. These guys can definitely range from like good to bad. Is that Springin or Brandon? Brandon. This one? This one's Springin. Springin players are homies. They just want XZ. They're fine. They're cool. They're like, yeah, Springins. I'm gonna pop your cards, but not by targeting. Technically, the mechanic's cool, and they don't really bring it up, and they're just like, they're just fine. They're just fine. Stick and chair. Never met it. Actually, no, I have interacted with these people before. They are annoying. Not quite that annoying. Like frog annoying. Is it nice or too bricky? Spiral isn't good, but not a lot of people know how to use them correctly. Wait, what? No, Spiral is good. Spiral's pretty good. Not anymore in the TCG, but in Master Duel it is, because we still have Master Plan. With the Prophecy Monsters? Oh, the Prophecy Monsters make it really annoying. I'm new here, which is the most annoying deck out there. Well, the most annoying deck, that's different. But the most annoying players connected to the deck are the hero players. Hero players are the most annoying. I'm buying the 3 decks on Master Duel. Do it. Starry Night players. I'm gonna put them in good. They're a little goofy. They're not like the best of people, but they're cool. I hate people who still use DPE. I don't hate them, but yeah. I want to say Subterror players are fine, but they also think that Guru Control is a cool type of deck to play, when in reality it's not. It's similar to Numeron, where I think if they played a different deck they'd be fine. But because they think that that deck is cool, they just have like the worst Yu-Gi-Oh takes. Where's the Rika? Where's the Rika cards? There it is. Boom. There are points where you want more spellbooks in hand than Prophecy Monsters? Yeah. Where's Dino? It's a good question. Where is Dino? Did we just not see any Dino cards? Apparently Dinos don't exist. Where's, Where'd... What's his face go? Where'd the Dino Wrestler go? We'll use him as dinos. This guy can be dinos. Dino players are annoying. Super obnoxious. Yeah, more so than Exorcisters. They are incredibly loyal, but also all very annoying. Sorry. Super Heavy Samurai is now meta in the OCG, which is funny, but the Super Heavy Samurai players are also annoying. It's an anime deck that has a unique gimmick, but it's not a cool unique gimmick. So there you go. Sushis. Sushis. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not good. They're just kind of there. Exist. They talk about things. They don't talk about things. They like sushi. Move on. Sword Soul players are homies. Yep. Right? I didn't put them quite in homies, but I do believe that they are. Sword Soul players, for the most part, are homies. Sylvan players. I don't know. Sylvan players give off this vibe of annoyance. They might not actually be annoying, but they sure feel like they are. Super Heavy Samurais aren't bad? No. The new Pendulum cards work really well in the OCG due to things like Grass and Block Dragon and the like. So there you go. Every time I hear Suship, there's like 3 people spamming based. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's why I'm like, they're fine. These players are also annoying. No, your deck isn't interesting. No, I don't like sitting through a control strategy where you set 5 and pass each turn after, you know, just gaining constant advantage due to the way that your cards work. No, I don't care that you bricked. Moving on. Tenyi players. Pure Tenyi players are also homies. There's public second copy, use public what? Huh. TG players. TG players are pretty good. They're fine. I hate the deck, but these players, they're good. I don't really have anything else to say. I don't really know what else to say. Weather Painter players are really obnoxious. Look, your deck is not cool, okay? Can we get that through your thick skulls? No, because you think that the artwork is good? No, the artwork's not even good. You can't, like, no, I get it, artwork is subjective and yada yada, but it's not, okay? There are significantly better artworks. Your artwork is not interesting. You just like the mommy card that you have. I get it, okay? Let's move on. Not a fun archetype to talk to. Not a fun type of player to talk to. Maybe have an aneurysm. Therion players are also annoying. I don't know why. They just are. And it's not anything to do with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! They're just, like, as people, they're just, like, bad at conversation. They either don't talk at all, which is me. That's me. That's me. I am that. Or they're always trying to cut into a conversation. Like, dude, shut up. Go away. This isn't your conversation. Leave me alone. Thunder Dragons. Thunder Dragon players are fine. Yeah, don't really have anything to say. They're just kind of there. I've never actually met a Time Lord player. They, again, similar to all of these other people, they're out there. Somewhere. Time Thieves. Time Thief players. This one's hard. Because most Time Thief players are, like, either on a budget or, like, doing, like, a sealed series. So it does kind of... I'm gonna put them... Put them in good. Yeah, they're not really bad. They're not really good. I know a Time Lord player. He's annoying. Interesting. I imagine Time Lord people just don't want to play the game very much. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I've never heard them actually say anything. Tindangles. Alright, because of MBT liking Tindangles, they have become increasingly obnoxious. Look, Tindangles are cool, okay? They were fine. They're a nice, interesting flip archetype. They're not really that good, but, like, okay, like, sure. But you don't always have to make the reference to the Tindangler, okay? Like, I get it. Yeah, it was a funny joke, like, a year ago. Let's move on. Anyway. Toon players. I think the players are for the most part, they're fine. They're just kind of like, I want to play a silly deck. I'm going to play Toons. It's normally their, like, for fun deck. And then they're just normal people. It's crazy that most of, like, tolerable and below has just been like, oh yeah, these people are normal. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players sure are a thing. They sure are a joke. Yeah, Trap Tricks. Yeah, look, I get it. Your deck has some interesting cards. And I get it. Yeah, no. You're not a lolicon. No, I get it. Yeah, you totally do not just like lollies. It's fine. I get it. I understand. But also, let's be honest with ourselves. You are a lolicon. It's fine. It's fine. Tri-Brigade, we've already talked about. They're fine. For the most part. Triamid players. There's like 2 Triamid players that exist in the TCG, but in Duel Links, There was a bunch of them, and they were insufferable. They were so obnoxious. They were the Gradles of Duel Links, and I cannot stand them. Just shut up. No one cares. I don't care about your stupid field spell. I don't care about Sphinx. Just leave me alone, you obnoxious little... Ah! Anyway. But she's a 2,000-year-old dude. Yep, true. Trap Trick players do be like that. Trickstar players... Yeah, they're a little annoying as well. Similar in nature to these two, just less extreme. Triamids were playable at all? What? In Duel Links, yes. And they were incredibly obnoxious. And all of the players were like, dude, it's this cool, like, rogue archetype. I was like, shut. True Draco players are also annoying. Because they think that their archetype... They're very similar to Mathmech players, where they're like, I think my archetype takes a lot of skill in order to pilot it, because it's like this control strategy that like generates constant resources and stuff like that. But it's like, no, you just flipped up skill drain. What do you mean? What do you mean takes skill? You flipped up a one-sided skill drain. And you drew like 6,000 cards. Shut. UA players... I've actually never interacted with a UA player. I couldn't tell you. I know that they exist. Do I know them? No. Unchained players are, for the, yeah, they're pretty obnoxious, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, this is hard. Because I've had, like, some really annoying Unchained players, but I've also had some, like, really homey Unchained players. So it's hard to say. I'm going to put them in tolerable. I do think that this is another one that could, like, range between annoying and good. I think for the most part, they're... I'd err on the side of, like, they're a little annoying. But they're still kind of, like, in the middle. UA players. Messi, 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 gol, 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 golazo! Yeah. Yep. I have never seen, never heard from, never talked to. I don't even know if an Ursa Arctic player exists. But if they do... vampire players are, for the most part, they're pretty fine. I don't think they do anything bad. I don't think they do anything good. Revendrid players are similar. I don't know. They're just kind of like, I just want to play Vendrids because it's cool and I like Spawn and yada yada. Is it Spawn? Or am I thinking of Cho'Gath? Anyway. That's not a deck. VW players. I think we've already talked about them. They're kind of annoying. Okay, maybe not that high, Dear Atlanta. But they're kind of annoying. Sorry, I'm sick, so I'm like... My nose is all stuffy and... Not stuffy, but runny. Hasn't been good. Hasn't been fun. I tried Ursa Arctic. It's bad. Even when you draw 7 because you draw more Ursa Arctics. Yep. Pyro, a.k.a... what is this archetype? Volcanic. That's what it is. Volcanics. Yeah, they're homies. Volcanic players are homies. And it's written like Batman. That's what it is. Yeah, I was like, it's Spawn, right? Yes. I have no idea what this is. Warrock players? I would put them in good, but they are a little annoying because... I think normally they're fine, but when they talk about Warrocks, they're like, yeah, dude, Warrocks are the greatest. And it's always the same joke, and it's not funny. It's not a funny joke anymore. Okay? Move past it. Let's move along. Let's make a different joke. There's another joke. You literally can't make another joke. I've never seen anyone play Watts. I've never seen anyone play it. Never heard it from anyone. So there you go. Wind-up players. Yeah, they're annoying. Look, we get it. Infinite material. Yeah, cool. Great. Fantastic. Let's move along. That's me. Wind Witch. A lot of people play this. I don't know. It exists. Witchcrafter players are annoying for the most part. Because it's another waifu deck that was good in Duel Links that people really latched onto, and now they play it like religiously, and they're like, but it's so cool and based, and you're like, no, you're just like one-siding skill drain. It's just a one-sided skill drain. It's great. Anyway, World Chalice players are annoying, mostly because of lore reasons. They're like, but the lore is so cool. Have you heard about this? They should make this into an anime. It's so cool and interesting. Don't you agree? And you're like, no, shut up. Worms! They're good. I wouldn't put them in homie, because they are a little bit annoying, because they think that they're really, really cool for playing worms, and they are, but you can't think that. You can't think that you're really cool, because it does hurt your appeal just a little, okay? Alright. And they're all Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, so they have, like, 0 charisma. X-Saber players. X-Saber players are geeky chads. They're cool. They're homies. Yeah. If Yu-Gi-Oh! Lore decks were turned into an anime, they'd be so bad. True. Where's the Orcus players? Where did I put them? Put them in good, right? Put them somewhere. They exist somewhere. Yeah, they're there. They're in good. There are way too many loose ends due to how they print them for lore reasons. True. Where are tier and sprite players? Here you go. Sprite players, homies, tier players, not so much. Yang Zing. If they're actually playing Yang Zing, you know for a fact that they are going to be annoying. Similar to True Draco. Not quite as annoying. But, yeah, they're kind of obnoxious. I don't know. And it's not like an in-game thing. It's more of like an out-of-game. They're just like, again, like bad at conversation kind of thing. No. Your pendulum deck, that pendulum summons spirit monsters, basically, is not interesting. I don't like being punched in the face for well over however much damage, while you literally just set a card last turn and stopped my entire turn because you bounced like 5 cards. Stop! Zephyr players. Zephyr players are Giga Chads, again. They're cool. Zodiac players are like, I don't know. They just exist. Yosenju players are annoying. Yep. Yep. Alright. There's my tier list. And we're done. Alright. So at the top, we have heroes. We have 3 DM archetypes. That being Blue Eyes, Buster Blader, and Dark Magician. We have Sky Striker. We have D. And then, of course, we have Pendulum. Then, of course, we have Dark World and Galaxy Eyes and Scareclaw, Junk, 6am, Asia Warriors, Trickstar, Marin says, Infernoid, Endymion, and the Jackal King stuff, Abyss Actor, Weather Painter, Amazonas, Galaxy, more Galaxy Eyes. Why is this here too? Too many Galaxy Eyes. I guess that's technically like Cypher or something like that. Gravekeeper, Goki, Triamids, Gradles, etc. And then in the homie tier, we have Zephyra, Dragoonity, Sword Soul, Tenyi, sorry, I almost said Tribrigade, Ice Barrier, Chem Critter, Springin, X-Saber, Mayakashi, Volcanic, Red Eyes, Atlantean, Mermail Atlantean, Dragon Link, Ritual Beast, Shadal, Mutant, Battery Man, Gadget, Alien, ABC, Kaijus, for some reason, Appliancer, Lunalight, Plunder, Glad Beast, Fire Fist, and BA. There you go. Can we look at the Vicious Soul stuff after this? What the heck is that? If you haven't seen them already, that is. The Vicious Soul? What is that? Hold on. Maybe under this. New archetype. Vicious Soul. Oh, Vanquish. Vanquishing Soul. Yeah? Vanquish Soul? Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Alright. Get rid of that. Is it this one? Vanquish Soul? Raisin? Versus Panthera? Versus Heavy Burger! Huh? Okay. We'll take a look at this. Oh my gosh, there's too much. It's an entire archetype. I can't read that much. How dare you? Alright. New archetype. Vanquish Soul, aka VS. VS Raisin? 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 No, how do you say it's gotta be Raisin. As in, like, it's been raised, but with an N? That's terrible. Anyway, it's a Fire Warrior effect monster. Oh no. 1800, 1500, you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, and you cannot activate them in the same chain. That's interesting. Oh, I'm guessing this is like, so that it's not Canhawk, basically. I don't know. If this card's normal or special summon, you can add a non-warrior vanquishing soul monster from your deck to your hand. Ooh, interesting. So he basically can't add himself, or probably something else. Quick effect, you could reveal the appropriate monster in your hand to activate one of these effects. A fire monster. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. A fire and dark monster. Destroy all other monsters in this card's column. What? What the hell? My card's crazy. That's not bad. You just freely get to add, if you already have another fire or dark, you can grab the other one, in theory. Yeah, you can probably grab another one, and then just, okay, well, there you go. VS Panthera. An Earth Beast Warrior level 4 effect monster with 1719. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn, and you cannot activate them in the same chain. If you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. Ooh, nice. That is just a, what the, huh? They just printed that? They just printed that. An Ignition Summon. Huh? Well, that's a card. I'm thinking of more like, that's crazy in like everything. That's good in Tri-Brigade. That's like an extender in Tri-Brigade. You could go like Kit into Almirage, into Dump Nerval, into Grab Karos, into Special Summon this, into Special Summon the Karos, in order to go and link those off for like a Ferro Sheet, and then in order to, what the, what? Who printed this? That's a crazy card. I don't care about the second effect. This first effect is like all you need. It's just a free level 4. In like every deck. And it's an Earth. Which doesn't matter so much in the TCG, but it might matter in Master Duel and TCG, or OCG, which is crazy. Anyway, quick effect, you can reveal monsters to destroy cards, to prevent this card being destroyed by battle this turn, or destroy all spell traps in this card's column. Not as good. Because this one's just destroy all other monsters, which is pretty good. But not bad. VS Heavy Burger. I'm sorry, what? That can't be right. That. Please tell me that's not how they're going to translate that. Please tell me it's not going to be translated to Heavy Burger. Oh, that's so dumb. A Dark Machine effect monster level 7, 25, 15. You can only use the first and second effect. Okay, so they all have that stipulation, where they can't be used in the same chain. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target a non-machine Vanquish Soul monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Oh, that's interesting. Quick effect, you can reveal the appropriate monsters from your hand, or in your hand to activate one of these. Draw a card with a dark monster, or if it's a fire and earth, inflict 1500 to your opponent. This card's not bad. It kind of depends. I'm trying to think. I guess, like, you can go into the Kashira stuff because it's a 7. But you also have to bounce a Vanquishing Soul monster, so it's not the greatest. In order to have, like for a free special. Yeah, this isn't great. But being able to draw a card by revealing a dark monster isn't bad. I have a strange fondness for 25-15 stat lines. It's pretty decent. What's up, Fabian? How you doing? No way that stays. Yeah. Vanquishing Soul vs. Dr. Madlove. Oh, it's a chick. Of course it's a chick. Level 4 Dark Fiend effect monster, 12-20. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. Yada yada. You can only, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Vanquishing Soul spell trap from your deck to your hand. Hey, that's pretty nice. And then on top of that, you can reveal the appropriate monster in your hand to activate one of these effects. Dark monster, a face-up monster your opponent controls loses 500 attack and defense, and a Dark Earth. Reveal a Darkened Earth to return a face-up monster on the field with the lowest defense to the hand. Your choice of type. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, they better have like a rank for it or something to actually go into off of these monsters, because as of right now, these monsters are pretty bad. Like, other than this one, most of these monsters are pretty bad. Okay, moving on. We have VS Pluton HG. What the heck? It's a level 6 fire zombie effect monster with 0/0. You can only use the first and second effect, yada yada. During your opponent's turn, if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, or if all monsters you control in the main monster zone are Vanquishing Soul monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand as a quick effect. It's pretty interesting. They have a great Link 1. Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll look at that in a second. But still, at the moment, this doesn't seem great. During your opponent's... that's during your opponent's turn. Interesting. So you can't even actually special summon it on your turn. It's only during your opponent's. Okay. Quick effects, you can reveal the appropriate monster in your hands to activate one of these effects. A fire monster to give this card 3,000 defense until the end of this turn. And a dark and earth in order to give this card 3,000 attack until the end of this turn. Yeah, this card sucks. Unless it does something else, like by special summoning itself on the opponent's turn to trigger another effect. This card by itself is not very good. That's all. It's not terrible, but it's not very good. VS Kaiser Varus. Level 8 Earth Dragon effect monster, 3015. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn, and only once per chain. During the main phase, quick effect. You can target a non-dragon VS monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. So it has the same effect as the level 8, the level 7, of being able to special summon itself. Then, quick effect. You can reveal the appropriate monster in your hand to activate one of these effects. An Earth monster. This face-up card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects this turn. Wow! That's the first good effect! Sadly, you have to reveal an Earth, but that's not that big of a deal. Earth, Fire, and Dark. Destroy a card in the field. Non-target destruction and being able to be unaffected. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, that I would imagine that that's how you're supposed to do things. Like, you basically add the... So, like, you would go... you'd go, like, normal summon this. Or actually, you go, like, special summon, normal summon. Activate the effect to search out the dark. Because you need a dark, right? Yeah. So you search out the dark one would then bounce a card back to hand. I don't know. I think this all just kind of depends on this one. A dark rock, Link 1, Rock of Vanquisher. 0 attack. 1 Vanquisher soul monster. Cannot be used as Link material. Can only be used the second effect of this card's name once per turn. While you control a Vanquishing soul monster, your opponent's monsters can only target your monster with the highest attack 4 attacks. The choice of Tide. Sure. During the main phase, you can activate one of these effects, a special summon a Vanquishing Soul monster from your hand, or add a Vanquishing Soul monster from your graveyard to your hand. The boss monster is so bad. Sure. I mean, it exists. It's not bad. But, I mean, it doesn't really trigger anything. Being able to add back a monster is nice, because that potentially gives you, like, this, which is pretty good. The problem is you don't really have much more interaction other than that, and you kind of just have to hard draw into your other cards. So, like, yeah, the combo would be, like, special this, normal this. This one searches for this one. And then you'd need another fire in your hand. No, you'd actually search out this one, I guess. And then hope that you have a dark in hand. And then, no, there's, like, literally nothing that this deck does. Maybe the spells will save it. You can only activate one of this card's name per turn. Target a VS monster you control changes battle position, then you can change the face up. Monster your opponent controls to face down defense position up to the number of vanquished control monsters you control with different names. Okay, sure. It's just Book of Eclipse, but bad, I guess. Okay. Vanquish Soul Continue. Pay 500. Target a vanquished soul monster in your graveyard. Either add it to your hand, or special summon it in defense. Why does it have an attack stat? I don't think it's supposed to have an attack stat. That's fine. That's not bad. Like, it's a quick play Monster Reborn. It's a quick play Monster Reincarnation that doesn't have a cost. It's not, in theory, it's not bad. You can also special Razor or Madla to search on your opponent's turn. That's true. You need a lot of engine cards in hand. I think it's mid for now. Yeah. Alright, let's read the traps. Maybe these traps save it. I mean, they have a counter trap. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target a vanquishing soul monster you control. Special summon up to 2 vanquishing soul monsters from your hand with different names from each other and different original attributes from the targeted monster. Wait, what? Special summon 2 vanquishing from your hand with different names. The targeted monster. Ah, okay. These effects are negated. Oh, but their effects are negated and then return to the hand. Well, that sucks. Wow, that's really bad. Then you can return all opponent's cards in that target's and summoned monsters' columns to the hand. That's actually a pretty decent interaction. It's not a bad trap. Because you could also go, like, activate this, target a monster, activate this, special summon another one. But that again, requires you to have so many of these engine pieces. And heaven forbid you get, like, impermed, or ashed, or literally interacted with in, like, any way. Eeh. Potential 3 bounces, yes. Potential 4, technically. Or, yeah, 8, technically. You could technically bounce 8, I think. No, 6, yeah. Technically 6. Sorry, I read that wrong. It's not just VS monsters, it's specifically the monsters that it summons, and that were targeted. Meh. It's not very feasible, but still, yeah. VS Calamity Kaiser. You can only activate this card's name once per turn. If your opponent activates a spell card, spell trap card, or monster effect that targets the card you control, and you control of a VS monster, you get the activation, destroy, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of a VS monster you control. This is a really bad one. It specifically has to target. So few things target nowadays. Because it's bad. But not everything doesn't target. It's just more of like, it's not great. Can be 7 if you have a Link monster. Oh, true. Yeah, this is... I like the idea. I think the idea for this archetype is fantastic. I think the artwork's a little mid, but... I think the idea behind it is pretty cool. I love this artwork. This is really good artwork. I also like this one. This one's really cool. But for the most part, I feel like there's just not enough that is realistically doing. But I do like this comment. Konami is starting to shift the playstyles of new decks so that to play on both turns, and I really like it. I also really like that. I like the idea of being able to play on both turns, because that's basically the evolution, right? Is that your opponent now gets to also play on your turn. And it has even more back and forth, which is really cool. Literally, the effing boss monster doesn't target. Yep. Yeah, the level 4 Beast Warrior monster is really good. It's basically Junk Warrior, but for 4s. Like, it does the same thing that Junk Warrior does in, like, rank 3 or, like, Link Spam decks that rank 4 decks want. This is probably by far the best card. The second effect doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. But, like, the fact that you could go and, like, do a whole, like, Link combo, end on, like, a big boss monster, and then still be able to go special summon this, normal summon, or, like, get another 4 onto your field in another way. No, Junk Warrior. I don't mean Junk Speeder. I mean Junk Warrior. And then, like, get another 4 onto your field and then make up a Baguska as well is, like, crazy. Yeah, this card's silly. This card's silly. Might be useful in rank 4 Lunalight. It could be useful in a myriad of things. Like, I could see this being useful, again, in, like, Tri-Brigade, right? You go into, like, Apollosa, and then you special summon this, and then you can link it off for, like, what have you. Or it's just, like, a free extension, right? Like, you go into, like, Farashite, and then you special summon this guy, and then you use the Farashite effect in order to special summon again, and then you link those off for something. Like, if you have, like, a particularly bad hand, if you have this, you can go, like, normal summon the kit, activate it, you know, link it off for Almirage, and then special summon this. Like, there's a lot of instances where just having that extra extension is crazy. Everything else is fine. They're fine. It's not great. This boss monster is kind of laughably bad because it does require you to specifically have 3 monsters. And 3 specific monsters. If this just said, reveal 3 VS monsters, I think it'd be fine. Like, it wouldn't be crazy, but it wouldn't be bad. And even if it was still you reveal an Earth monster to make it unaffected, overall, I still think that's good, right? But the fact that it specifically requires an Earth, a Fire, and a Dark is what really kills it. Junk Warrior is a synchro level spot. No, that's Junk Speeder. Or Speed Warrior. No, it's... What is it? Is it Junk Speeder? No, it's not Junk Speeder. It's not Junk Speeder. It's Junk... What is it? Hold on. What are you talking about? Hold on. Oh, Junk Forward. Junk Forward. That was it. That's why I was confused. Ashen Ghost Speller, Fire and Earth. That's nice. But the problem is that you still need like a million other cards. And that would mean that you'd have to have Ash still in your hand and Ghost Ogre and Ghost Bell. Right? And those are like 2 hand traps, right? Think about all the other hand traps, right? Besides Max C, because that one doesn't exist in the TCG. What else do you really have to reveal, right? Like, most of them are lights. Is Spooky Dogwood in Earth? It's like, most of them are lights and darks, right? So it's not like you really have that much going for you. Yeah. It's still not great. And it just requires you to also have 3 cards in hand, which isn't necessarily that feasible. Dogwood is water. There you go. Anyway, interesting archetype. That's going to be it for this stream. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.